And my logical mind was like, stick to your job, it brings you income, it's safe. But my heart was telling me to pursue my dream, my YouTube channel, my passion. Today is the day. I just got home from my last shift as a flight attendant. I quit my job without any savings, without a plan B. And this is how many subscribers I have on my YouTube channel today. This is how much money there is on my bank account today. And this is how much money YouTube has made me so far. Now you might think, is that woman out of her mind? Like, that doesn't make any logical sense to quit your job to pursue YouTube with these statistics. And I know, but one thing you need to know is we don't rely on logic over here. There's no job, there's no plan B, there's no savings, but one thing there is a deep intuitive knowing that it's all going to work out for me. I know with every cell in my freaking being that it's all going to work out for me, and even better than I could have ever imagined with my logical mind. How did I get to this point? How am I able to trust so much in the unknown and have so much faith in myself and in the universe? I think you need the story time. In 2021, my father passed away. And quite soon after that, I realized that I have no time to waste in this life. I'm also going to die one day. So if I want to do something in this life, the time is now. However, like all of us, I also had been programmed a certain way. I had lots of limiting beliefs. And even though I've always been quite optimistic about life, I still had lots of limitations in my mind that I didn't even know I had. But those limitations were keeping me where I was. Even if I had big dreams, something in me was feeling like I cannot achieve them. About 6 months after my father had passed away, I started reading books about the mind and the subconscious mind especially. I started to understand how the mind works, how fear and doubt is directing our lives unless we change that. I read about 30 books on the subject, and I understood that all of those books were talking about the same thing, just with different names, different words. And I began to realize that there is so much more in this life than what we can see with our own eyes in front of us. There is a whole other universe that works so magically if we just remove fear and doubt from our lives. And when I say remove fear and doubt from our lives, I don't mean that we never feel fear or that we never experience doubt. I mean that even if we feel fear and doubt, we don't let fear and doubt dictate our lives. We don't give them any power over our lives. So as I was reading the books, first I was only consuming the content. But then I began to implement it into my life. I decided that I am done living the way that I'm living. My life was okay, my life was good, but I wanted so much more. And instead of waiting that more to land on my lap, I started to intentionally create a new life for myself. I realized I can harness my mind to work for me instead of against me. And that's what I started to do every single day. I understood that I have to live the new life in my mind and in my life today. I cannot wait for something outside of me to come to my life and change it. So I started to speak to myself differently. I started to think about my life differently. I wrote down all my limiting beliefs and I really analyzed them, and I was like, where did this come from? And then I realized that they are not true. So I started to reprogram my mind and replace those limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. I would talk to myself in a loving manner every single day about my life, about my body, about my circumstances, about everything in my life. I just changed everything in my mind. And I repeated it every single day. So if in the morning I was looking into the mirror, I would tell myself, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I'm awesome, I'm powerful, I'm capable, and all those good things. But I did not only leave it there. I kept that same mindset throughout my day, no matter what I was doing. If I did a workout, I was like, yes, I'm so good at this. I did what I said I was going to do. I take good care of myself. I am the person who takes care of themselves. Like, I would hype myself up with every single little thing in my life. No matter how small it was, I was like, I did that. I am this new person now. I'm proud of myself. I'm showing up. Because when you start to say those affirmations to yourself, your brain wants to look for proof. And the way to give it some proof is to really acknowledge every single thing you do in life and be like, that's my proof, that's my proof. Or if you want to be more confident, you can talk to a stranger, you can say hi to a stranger and be like, I did that, I'm confident, I'm awesome. Like, you have to kind of play this game with your mind in the beginning before your mind starts to think it's your new normal. You can't just say one time to yourself, I love myself, and expect it to land. As I was implementing these things into my life started to get better. I felt more at peace, more confident, and more like myself. And I also started to see that the reality was mirroring that back to me. Things would start to flow easier in my life. I started my YouTube channel around the same time in 2022, so the year after my father had passed. But I was still in the beginning of my journey in this mindset work. So I didn't understand that it's not enough for me to wish and hope for something. I have to live that reality. I have to have the identity of a person who has those results that I want to have. So I was building my YouTube channel and I did not see the growth that I was expecting to see in the time frame that I wanted to see it. The channel was growing, slow but steady. And something in me was telling me to just keep going and have faith. And at the same time, I was working as a flight attendant, shift work, which is quite consuming. I really enjoyed it, but it's physically and mentally sometimes exhausting. This year, I came to the point where I just decided that I need to make a choice. I have to focus on flight attending or my YouTube channel. And my logical mind was like, stick to your job, it brings you income, it's safe. But my heart was telling me to pursue my dream, my YouTube channel, my passion. During many, many months, I was torn between these two. Because the way I wanted it to go, I wanted to see my YouTube channel grow enough. I wanted to see the money coming in before I quit my job. But that did not happen. And at some point I was like, I'm just done waiting. And I decided to quit my job without any savings and without a plan B. So I took the leap of faith before seeing the proof, before seeing the results. And that takes immense courage. How was I able to build up that courage? Well, there was this mindset work and identity shifting that I was already doing. But then there's the other side. When fear and doubt kicked in, what did I do? I also learned about nervous system regulation and how our body keeps score about all the emotions we have. So I realized that in order for me to be able to succeed in this, I need to also feel calm and secure from the inside out, not from the outside in. So all the things that you think are bringing you safety, like steady income, a certain relationship, or all those things outside of you, they're good things, I'm not saying that. But you should not rely solely on those things when thinking about your safety. You want to feel safe and secure in yourself, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. That's the goal, because then if you can feel safety with yourself at all times, your mind is not stuck in survival mode anymore. You start to be more creative, more open to life's possibilities when you're not looping the same survival mode loop in your head. I need to achieve, I need to push hard, I need to do this and that to be able to get money. No. You can chill and relax. So I started to do EFT tapping. First I was looking at YouTube videos showing me how to do it. You can also look it up. It's a very practical tool to release your emotions and kind of work through them. In the beginning I was aggressive with this work. I would be like looping affirmations to myself all the time and EFT tapping like crazy. I would be dancing in my room, I would be talking to myself and to the walls, and I would be crying, I would be through it all, you know. But I just knew that if I keep going, if I keep this new mindset, if I keep this new identity and build it, I will win at the end of this. It will start to feel like my new normal. And now it is my new normal. And that's exactly why I was able to quit my job without any savings and plan B. I have made safety my new baseline. In my mind, things always work out for me. I've been telling myself this for the past 2 years, and now it really feels like things are always working out for me. One way or another. I trust life. I trust God, universe, and the quantum field. I believe in the things unseen. I have faith in the unknown. I know that logic is not the way to go in this life. Gut feeling and intuition is the way to go. And also one idea that I always come back to when I feel doubt or fear is that my mission is bigger than my fear. My mission is bigger than my fear. So even if I feel the fear, I just keep going. I process the emotions, I let myself feel whatever I need to feel. But then I get back to my baseline of safety and good things happening to me. And that's the key. Building your identity so strong that no matter what's going on in your life, you feel safe and you feel like things are working out for you. In my mind, if I had been saving up money like crazy up until this point, I would have been preparing for failure. I would have been preparing for me having to dig into that savings account. But I have been preparing myself to succeed. So in my mind, I don't need the savings because this is going to work out for me anyways. And if you had told me this 2 years ago, I would have been like, not going to happen. I could never think like that. That's crazy, irresponsible, absolutely out of this world. But here I am today telling you that this is my truth now because I made the mindset work. And I'm still doing it. And I keep doing it because that's the key to success. I also realized that people would make this type of videos after they have made it to the top, after they had the proof to show that this is what happened after that. I don't have that proof yet. But I want to make this video to inspire you that you can just decide that you want to change your life and go for it. You don't need to wait any longer. The key is to build your character to be able to handle what it is that you're asking for. Your old identity cannot get you your new reality. You cannot hold what you're asking for if you're still thinking in limitations and lack and restrictions. If you're still thinking I need to hustle so hard to get any money. If you're still thinking that I never have enough money. If you're still thinking that my body is not beautiful enough. If you're still thinking I'm not good enough, I'm not confident enough. If you're still thinking people are not interested in what I have to say. Those things, they need to go, because if you keep looping those in your mind, even if you got to where you want to be, you would lose all that because you don't have the identity of a person who can handle that. Also me, when my YouTube channel was growing very slow and steady, that was the perfect time for me to build my character up, to focus on this inner work, so that now I'm able to handle it when it all unfolds. So for me to be able to get to this point where I'm now, quitting my job without any savings or any plan B, it's a combination of a few things. First, understanding and learning about how your mind works. Understanding how the subconscious mind is ruling your world. Learning how to change that and implementing that into your everyday life. Regulating your nervous system and your emotions when you feel fear and doubt kicking in. Then just keep persisting in that new mindset. Live the life that you see in your future. Live it today. As much as possible in small details in your life. Just live it today. Speak it into life. Like, I never say to myself that I'm ugly. I never say to myself that my videos are crap. I never say to myself that nobody is interested in what I have to say. I never say to myself that I don't have enough money. I don't say those things to myself anymore. I used to, but not anymore, because I understand what kind of effect that has to your mind. Your mind is only trying to keep you safe. Understand that. Your mind is only trying to keep you safe. That's why it's feeding you so much crap. It's feeding you those limiting beliefs, those doubts all the time, unless you break that cycle. And you can totally do that. So if you're wondering about a big decision in your life, I highly encourage you to listen to your intuition. And for that, you need to spend some downtime just by yourself. Listening to your own thoughts, to your own body, and just really thinking about how a decision feels for you. Is it a yes or a no? Because your intuition is wise if you just take the time to have a break and really listen to yourself. For me, I felt like when I had to decide if I'm going to keep going in my job or quit, I came to the point where my body was telling me to quit. and go for my dreams. Even if my logical mind was telling me to stay in the job. But your body is more powerful than your logical mind. I understood that energetically I need to focus on only one thing instead of dividing my time into a job and a YouTube channel all the time. I need to go all in on YouTube. And when I say I go all in, I don't mean that I'm going to hustle and exhaust myself. No, I'm keeping up this new identity and the mindset that I have, and I let it all unfold into my life. And understand that sometimes you have to let go of something good in order to get something that's more aligned with your true self. I really enjoyed my job in aviation. It's a unique work environment, and I'm going to miss it. But at the same time, I just know that my purpose is elsewhere. I am sharing this story, not to say that everyone has to quit their job, but if you have something in your life that you truly want to do, you have to go for it. And if you feel like you can't take a big leap of faith just yet, that's totally okay. Keep doing the mindset work, keep learning about the subconscious mind, and then start doing more of what lights you up and less of what drains you. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions. See you in the next video. Bye!